There are phases in life when you feel you have tried your very best, yet things still do not turn out the way you hoped. There are moments when you stay calm, but even a small incident is enough to disturb your mind. As you grow older, you begin to understand that you no longer want to race against life anymore. You only want to live more gently, more clearly, and more peacefully each day. That is when Stoic philosophy steps in and becomes a trustworthy companion. Stoicism is not a distant or complicated theory. It is made of simple, practical principles that can be applied to any stage of life, especially when you are trying to reorganize your mind, regain balance, or learn to live with less worry. In this video, we will walk through 12 Stoic secrets that help you do your best while still keeping peace within. These are not pieces of advice pushing you to be strong all the time, but lessons that help you live lighter, deeper, and more intentionally in every moment. And when you are ready to begin this journey, there is one important thing to remember. Your strength does not come from trying to change the whole world, but from understanding what truly belongs to you. Every Stoic principle begins with this first step, the step that helps you regain peace, regain control, and reclaim ownership of your own mind. So before we explore the next lessons, let us go into the first secret, which is also the most important foundation of Stoicism. Focus on what you can truly control. Secret number 1, focus on what you can control. When you have lived through many years of life, you begin to realize that most of what exhausts you comes from things completely outside your reach. Other people's thoughts, their health, unexpected changes, or situations that unfold beyond your intention. The more you worry, the more powerless you feel. The more tightly you try to hold on, the more you lose the peace within. The Stoics remind us of an important truth. You can only control 3 things: your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. Everything else, no matter how much you worry about it, cannot be changed by you. Think back to a time when you felt stressed simply because someone did not react the way you expected. When you look back, did that worry make anything better? Or did it only drain your energy and disturb your sleep? Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Direct your mind only to what is truly yours." When you place your attention on what you genuinely control, the way you speak, the way you respond, the way you think, your mind begins to feel lighter. You realize that you do not have to carry the whole world on your shoulders. You only need to take responsibility for the part that belongs to you. Focusing on what you can control is not avoiding life. On the contrary, it is the wisest way to live, gentle with what is beyond your reach, yet strong with what you can choose. And when you can do this, the worries do not disappear immediately, but they no longer have the power to control you. Secret number 2, do your best, but let go of the result. There are stages in life when you have poured your whole heart into something, a meaningful conversation, a job you carried out with complete dedication, or an effort to repair something important. But even when you have done your very best, the outcome still does not turn out the way you hoped. When we are young, we often blame ourselves. But as we grow older, we understand that there are things that lie beyond human ability. The Stoics teach that your responsibility is to do your part as well as you can, while the result depends on many other factors, circumstances, other people, timing, and even the unpredictable. Letting go of the result does not mean giving up. It means accepting the truth that you cannot control everything. Think about the relief that comes when you know you have already done your very best. Not to prove anything to anyone, but so you can look back and say, "I have done my part." In that very moment, your mind is freed from the obsession with success and failure. Marcus Aurelius once reminded us, "Focus on the right action, the rest is not yours." A small sentence, yet it carries the power of peace. When you do your best without tying yourself to the result, you live with greater freedom. You enjoy the journey instead of fearing the ending. And sometimes, the moment you stop worrying about the outcome, good things come more naturally than you expected. Secret number 3, train your self-discipline every day. When we are young, we believe that motivation is what pushes us forward. But after many years, you begin to realize that motivation appears only briefly, like a gentle breeze. What truly keeps your life on the right path is discipline, consistency, persistence, the ability to do the right thing even when you no longer feel inspired. The Stoics believe that discipline is not a form of pressure, but a form of freedom. When you train yourself each day, you become the one who directs your actions instead of being led by emotions or laziness. Epictetus once said, "No one is free unless he masters himself." At any age, this statement remains true. Think about the small things you want to do consistently: taking a morning walk, reading a few pages, meditating for a few minutes, or saying one kind word before going to bed. You do not need to do anything big. You just need to do it regularly. One small habit, repeated many times, can change both your mind and your health. Discipline does not require you to be perfect. It only asks you to return, even after the days you missed. What matters is not how fast you go, but that you keep moving. And interestingly, when you maintain discipline each day, you begin to trust yourself more. You feel stronger, more in control, and life becomes much clearer. Discipline creates freedom, and for the Stoics, that is the foundation of a peaceful life. Secret number 4, accept failure as a companion. At this age, you have gone through enough stumbles to understand that failure is not the end. It is simply a natural part of life, just as winter is necessary for spring to bloom. But even with that understanding, every failure still hurts, still makes us wonder, if only I had done better. The Stoics view failure through a different lens. They believe that failure is not meant for blaming yourself, but for illuminating the path ahead. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way. The obstacle becomes the path." It means that the very things that slow you down or frustrate you can become the stepping stones that make you stronger. Think of a failure in your life, a relationship that did not turn out as you hoped, an opportunity that slipped away, a plan that did not succeed. When you look back, wasn't it that very experience that taught you something more important? A moment of awakening, a moment of growth, a different perspective on life? Accepting failure does not mean you are giving up. It means you are brave enough to face it, calm enough to learn from it, and steady enough to move forward without carrying the weight of self-blame. The Stoics believe that no failure is meaningless as long as you learn something from it. And when you can learn from every fall, you become even stronger than when you were standing firm. Secret number 5, live fully in the present. The older you get, the more clearly you feel one thing. Time moves faster, and the mind often drifts in two directions, the past filled with regret or the future filled with worry. But the Stoics remind us that real life happens in only one place, the present moment. Every joy, every opportunity, and every bit of peace exists right here, in the very breath you are taking now. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Confine your life to the present moment." It is a gentle yet necessary reminder, especially when you have lived through many ups and downs. The past cannot be changed, and the future has not yet arrived. But the present, the way you think, the way you respond, the way you choose to live, that is what truly belongs to you. Think of a recent day when you felt anxious, without even knowing why. Maybe your mind was chasing an old story, or imagining something that has not happened yet. But if you pause, take a deep breath, and pay attention to what is truly happening around you, the sound of the wind, the light, the faces of your loved ones, you will feel your stress ease almost immediately. Living in the present does not mean ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It means you do not let them control your emotions. You appreciate the moment you have, no matter how small it may be. When you learn to return to the present, you will find life feels lighter, your mind becomes calmer, and each day turns into a gift worth experiencing. Secret number 6, act according to your values, not other people's judgment. When you have lived through enough ups and downs, you realize a very honest truth. Other people's opinions have never fed you, never helped you sleep well, and never walked with you through your hardest days. So why do we let them control our lives? The Stoics believe that the greatest freedom of a person does not come from youth or strength, but from the ability to live according to their own values. You cannot control what others think about you, but you can control how you act, how you behave, and how you face each new day. Think back to the times when you changed your mind, endured something, or stayed silent simply because you were afraid of what others might think. Those moments did not make life any easier. They only pulled you further away from yourself. When you live according to other people's judgments, you lose the peace within. But when you live according to your own values, kindness, integrity, patience, understanding, you remain steady no matter how many opinions surround you. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be willing to be misunderstood." And that is the truth of maturity. You do not need anyone's approval to do what is right. You only need the courage to live honestly with yourself. When you stop chasing the gaze of others, you begin to truly live, lighter, freer, and more at peace. Secret number 7, accept change as a natural law. The longer you live, the more clearly you see that nothing in this life stays the same forever. People change, health changes, circumstances change, and even you yourself become different through each stage of life. Yet we often resist change, as if holding tightly to something could somehow make us feel safer. The Stoics view change with an incredible sense of calm. They believe that change is not an enemy, but the natural essence of life. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The universe is change. Life is perception." It means that everything is constantly shifting, and it is the way you perceive change that determines whether you live in peace or in anxiety. Think back to the major changes in your life: a new job, a new home, a loss, a separation, or the stages where you had no choice but to turn to a new chapter. At that time, you may have been afraid, yet you still made it through. And sometimes it is that very change that opens the door to better things, a deeper perspective, a broader understanding, or a stronger version of yourself. Accepting change does not mean being passive. It means you no longer fight against what is beyond your reach, but learn to adapt with calmness. When you understand that everything has its own timing, you feel less hurt, less regretful, and less afraid. And strangely enough, when you open your heart to change, life opens pathways for you. Secret number 8, build inner strength through adversity. No one wishes for hardship, but if you look back over your life, you will see that it is the challenging periods that helped you grow the most. The losses, the disappointments, the days when you had to stand up, even though you had no strength left. All of these have shaped the steady, resilient person you are today. The Stoics do not avoid adversity. They believe that every challenge is a form of training. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way. The obstacle becomes the path." It means that the very things that slow you down can become the things that make you stronger. Think of a time when you faced a challenge that felt far beyond your strength, a health problem, a loss, or a change that forced you to start over. In that moment, you may have felt fragile, but now looking back, you can see that you stood up, you kept going, and you even became more grounded and insightful because of it. Inner strength is not something you are born with. It is forged through pain, through patience, and through refusing to let circumstances shape your spirit. Adversity does not come to end you. It comes to make you more resilient. When you see each hardship as a lesson rather than a verdict, your mind becomes softer yet steadier, more understanding yet unbroken. And with every challenge you overcome, you move closer to the inner freedom that the Stoics always aim for. Secret number 9, practice gratitude even in difficult times. When you have lived through many decades, you understand that life is not always gentle. There are days when you feel you are losing more than you are gaining. And as you grow older, the changes in health, family, and daily life make gratitude harder to hold on to. But the Stoics believe that it is exactly during the difficult moments that gratitude becomes most precious. Gratitude does not mean denying your pain. It means that even in loss, you still see what remains. Even in worry, you still find something to appreciate. Epictetus once reminded us, "The wise person is not sad about what he does not have, but rejoices in what he already has." A gentle reminder, yet enough to bring your mind back to peace. Think about the small things that are still present around you. A morning you can still wake up to, a warm meal, a phone call from a loved one, or simply the fact that you still have the strength to walk. These things may seem ordinary, yet they are gifts that not everyone is still fortunate enough to have. When you practice gratitude, your mind shifts direction. Instead of looking at what is lost, you look at what remains. Instead of seeing yourself as lacking, you see yourself as still enough. And it is that sense of fullness in your awareness that gives you the strength to move through difficult days. Gratitude does not make life free of hardship. It simply gives your heart a little more light to keep going, even when the road ahead is far from perfect. Secret to your 10. Master your reaction, not the events. At this age, you have lived through enough changes to understand that none of us truly controls life. We cannot choose whether illness comes, we cannot choose other people's attitudes, and we cannot stop unexpected changes from appearing at our door. But the Stoics believe that there is one thing no one can ever take away from you: the way you choose to react to everything that happens. Epictetus once said, "It is not the events themselves that trouble us, but the way we interpret them." That means two people can go through the same situation, yet live two completely different lives, simply because their reactions are different. Think back to a recent situation that upset you, a careless comment, bad news, or something that happened beyond your intention. When you look back, you will realize that the event itself did not last long. It was your reaction, anger, sadness, tension, that made it stay in your mind much longer. The Stoics teach that when you pause for 1 second before reacting, you reclaim your power. One deep breath can prevent you from saying something you would regret. One moment of stillness can help you choose calmness instead of anger. Controlling your reaction is not the same as suppressing your emotions. It means understanding that emotions come and go, but the actions you choose will remain. A calm reaction can turn a bad day around. A gentle response can preserve a relationship. A composed attitude can help you move through a difficult moment without losing yourself. When you can control your reactions, life becomes far less overwhelming, and your inner world becomes the most peaceful place you have. Secret, Church 11. Practice humility and avoid the trap of the ego. The older you get, the more you understand that the ego can be a heavier burden than any physical pain. It makes us easily offended, quick to overreact, eager to prove we are right, and sometimes hurt the very people we love most. But the Stoics believe that a humble mind is the foundation of true peace and wisdom. Humility does not mean lowering yourself. It means you are clear-headed enough to know you are not perfect, open-hearted enough to accept feedback, and strong enough not to compete with the world. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, yet also a philosopher, reminded himself every day, "I am only human." If someone at the height of power could remain humble, that is something worth reflecting on. Think back to the times when your ego made life harder, a pointless argument, an unnecessary hurt feeling, a moment when you tried to prove you were right. When you look back, were those things truly important? Or did they only cost you your peace of mind for no good reason? When you learn to let go of the ego, you stop getting pulled into the trivial, you listen more, understand more, and see life with gentler eyes. And the special thing is this: humility does not make you smaller. On the contrary, it makes you deeper, more trustworthy, and more respected. A humble mind is a free mind, free from competition, free from defensiveness, and free from the noise that does not matter. Secret, Chapter 12. Patience. All good things take time. When you have lived through many years of life, you understand that the things with the greatest value never arrive immediately. Good health, a peaceful mind, a strong relationship, or inner maturity, they all require time, just like a seed that takes a long while before it begins to sprout. But in today's fast-paced world, patience has become more challenging than ever. The Stoics teach that patience is not helpless waiting, but continuing to act steadily even when you cannot yet see the results. Epictetus once reminded us, "Nothing great is created in an instant." That is true in every stage of life, whether you are 20 or when you have reached 60 or 70. Think back to a period when you practiced patience, a habit you tried to maintain, a difficult change you faced, or a health issue that required time to improve. In those moments, you may have felt impatient or even wanted to give up. But looking back, it was that very patience that carried you through. Patience does not make life easier, but it makes you stronger. It helps you accept that everything has its own timing. You cannot force life, but you can walk alongside it with calmness. And when you learn to be patient, your mind becomes lighter. You worry less, feel less tension, and rediscover the peace that age can never take away. When you reach the end of the journey through these 12 Stoic secrets, you will see that the things that seem simple can actually change the way you live. Stoicism does not ask you to become a perfect person who never feels sad, never hurts, and never makes mistakes. On the contrary, it allows you to be yourself, but a calmer, clearer, and stronger version in the face of life's changes. And at this age, when you have lived through enough ups and downs to understand that you cannot control everything, Stoicism becomes a trustworthy companion. It reminds you that you can still do your part well each day. You can still choose calmness when life becomes turbulent. You can still choose kindness even when the world feels harsh at times. You can still live fully, meaningfully, and strongly, because age may change your body, but it cannot change the strength within your mind. If today there is a lesson that made you reflect, a moment that helped you feel lighter, or a sentence that inspired you to live better, keep it for yourself. And if you'd like, you can also share in the comments. Among the 12 lessons today, which one do you want to apply first? I truly want to read your thoughts because your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. If you found this video helpful, please hit like to help it reach more people. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. We will continue bringing you practical Stoic lessons, teachings that can accompany you on the journey to peaceful living, one day at a time.